And we're back for the second half here at KG5. It's Glenorchy Knights holding sway by 1-0 after 45 minutes of action here. A Declan Brown penalty separating the two teams. Can the Zebras turn things around in the second, or will the Knights hold on and leak them into fourth on the table? It's been a game of few chances so far. What do you like of our chances of this thing breaking open just a little in the second, Paul?
I'm confident of this one breaking open. I think the Zebras have got to play a bit quicker and a bit more attacking intent right from the off here, especially being a goal down. They'll need a good sense of urgency, especially to break down what has been a pretty strong red wall that the Knights have put up here this afternoon. That back four of Clay, Hardwick, Harrison and Tolkill, with James and Griffin marshalling in front. They've looked pretty steady there. The last 10 minutes, Zebras did start to find some holes, which seemed to be what the Knights do. They play a strong 30-35, and then that last 10, it's been their weak point all season. We saw that against Olympia as well here in the early rounds. Just a 10-minute lapse of concentration, and the game was pretty much over in that time. And the Knights will probably look to play on the counter. I would expect Brown to play a bit more advanced here and really look to run in behind Little and Harutza, as especially with Nowicki off, it's going to be hard to match their centre-backs physically. And the Zebras really, I think, just have to keep plugging away. Hay and Edwards were looking the most likely outlets for the Zebras. And to be fair, I certainly think there's going to be goals left in this match.
I tend to agree with that assessment. As Jake Stewart puts his foot over the ball, and we're ready for what should be an intriguing second 45 here. The Knights holding sway at the moment, looking to claim a big scalp here this afternoon and put a dent in the Zebras' early title aspirations. As we approach the end of the first full round of fixtures, we've just about got an adequate sample size to judge everyone off at this point, and an important battle in sorting them out this afternoon. A big 45 minutes coming up here at KG5. Watman to Little, who's about to be surrounded by Knights who press them here, but they retreat back to Watman and he'll just launch it over the top of all that. Tyler Harrison with a volley. It's just going to go straight out of play.
Just attacking the KGV grandstand from the underside there was Tyler Harrison, as Jaden Hay goes for a jaunt down the left-hand sideline, trying to get around the whole Knights defence on his own, and puts a good ball into the box, and he's completely missed the header, and it's rolled in for an own goal. Well, that happened in absolute slow motion. Completely misjudged the header in the box there from the Zebras. It's rolled off the thigh. Well, I think it was Jade Clay on the far side coming in from his defensive position. It is Clay, and he probably wasn't expecting it to come to him. Nesta couldn't come across. And within the first minute, the Zebras are back level.
Yeah, comical that one. And Jay Clay just getting the ball caught between his feet there. Sneaks in slow motion, as you say, into the far post there. I thought Edwards should have got his head to it. It was a brilliant cross from Jaden Hay. Thought it was an opportunity gone begging. And in the end, a slice of fortune. And they knot this one up one apiece. Jake Stewart crashes into Harutza. Jordan Muller chips it out wide for pace over his head. And Jade Clay is there. Hardwick chips it over the top. Brown off pace. They all appeal for it. And it will be the Knights who get it. So what a real turn in this game. 1-1 the score now. And there for both these teams to really push on and try and find another one. Take all 3 points today. The Knights in absolutely no hurry here at the moment to take the throw in. So they're looking to drive the tempo in the opening moments here. Long throw comes from Clay. And off for Griffin it goes for a goal kick.
Hard one there for Griffin to control. I'm just saying, Hay and Edwards were the most likely outlets. It was Jaden Hay's work down the left-hand touchline, despite having 3 Knights players to contend with. Got the ball into the box. But yeah, you would expect Nicky Edwards to get something on that. And then it really did roll into the corner. I thought just the pace it was, Nesta would be able to come across, but the Zebras back on track early, and it's back to square one as Jake Stewart now goes for a run down the left-hand side. Harutza for company. Stewart wants some options, doesn't have a lot as James is sitting back. He now goes to James, whose heavy touch allows Harutza to clear. Loose header is retrieved and put into the box. Naden nearly getting there. Dillon heading clear. Harutza calmly back to the goalkeeper. And Jaden Hay is in a considerable amount of space there. If Watman wants to get it to him, and he's hit it behind him, but it will fall to the Zebras winger. It's Hay now cutting inside. Griffin with a good challenge. And they'll now look to reset the Zebras. Stone cold Riley Dillon to Sanders. Tried to get past Harrison, no luck. Griffin wants a few more options and eventually goes down the sideline in the Heggie direction. This time the Zebras mop up a little quicker than we've seen so far. As Watman goes to Sanders. Clay fresh airing that one, and Pace read that one like a book, and Nesta gets there eventually. Heggie. The two number 9s still going at each other. And Walsh shepherds that one out for a throw.
So the Dwayne Pipe, those seriously loud wheels of his up towards Nicky Edwards, showed good anticipation over to go, trying to pounce all over that back pass. Riley Dillon in plenty of space near touchline, screaming for it. Those calls heated. And now Dillon will turn and try and get round Naden. Couldn't do so. He'll get the throw in, and the match manager just get it to him quickly. The Zebras trying to force the issue early in their half here, really put the pressure on the Knights, turn the screws a little, but they let them off the hook there. Slightly sloppy, the Knights showing no inclination for a fast tempo ball game at the moment. Quite content as this one's nodded down by Muller into the path of pace. Away by Hardwick, right into the bullseye where Harutza waits for it. Nodded over the top of Muller to Griffin. He gave it straight to Tommy Little. Now Jaden Hay combining with Muller. Sweating on him was Cal Griffin, letting him work it forwards there. Riley Dillon. Sanders wanted that one and got it. Muller chips it over the top looking for Hay. He's been an outlet they've frequently used this afternoon. Sanders' ball floats over the head of Edwards. Out by Hardwick. Heggie presents it up quite nicely. Now he turns and swings this over the top. It was an errant pass though. Didn't really give Stewart a chance at it. Jay Clay wider on the left, another option, but went the near touchline instead. Little. Dillon. Now back to the big Kiwi. Waiting on that one was Harutza, and then Watman just says, let's get it out of here. Well, Hardwick coughed it straight up to Hay, and he might make them pay. Delightful little chip into the channel, but well done by Tyler Harrison. Whisked that one away just in the nick of time. Heggie giving chase, but won't get on the end of that one.
Composed defence there from Tyler Harrison, back heeling your way out of trouble with Edwards storming through. Good composure shown by the centre half. It's Walsh. Throws it into Edwards. Dwayne Pipe eyes it back to the keeper, who does get his head up quickly. Sprays it out in the Hay direction. Toghill over both of their heads. Harrison comes across to clean up. But the foul given by the referee. And now the Zebras doing what the Knights have been doing, and not in a huge rush to take it. Dillon to Hay. What can he do down this left-hand touchline again? He puts in a similar ball to before. Nesta, not quite there. Fell on the keeper, no. And corner given. So right under the nose of the keeper. Colonel Sanders there. What are your thoughts on that one, Andrew?
Oh, I've got to stand up for the keepers' union there. A bit of protection for my man, Dimmy Nesta, please, as Dillon swings this one in, away by Naden. You can't be, I know it's an old cliche, keepers are overprotected, but that's just a bit of tunnelling, really. I mean, he's trying to put him off so he can get a goal to bounce over the line. Got a bit unlucky there, Dimmy Nesta. It's just not normally the way those ones go. They're on the other side. There's a potential for foul on the goalkeeper. Yonezawa. Sanders. Shut off by Harrison. Had a good game in the heart of the Knights' defence today. As the skipper, Tyler Harrison, intelligent reader of the play. Dylan told that needs to be a bit more central.
We really need a third commentator to be from the strikers union here. So we've got the keepers union, the defenders union. We're giving not a lot of love to strikers.
Oh, I'm a more than competent number 9 as well. I'll dip my hat in the ring there too. Do my best work in the 6-yard box. Don't really move much beyond that, but
real target man type operator.
I model myself more on Van Nistelrooy.
Yep. Just
Not a lot of movement.
Not a lot. 6-yard poacher.
Certainly not quite the ability of Van Nistelrooy, it's fair to say. Anyway, it's the Zebras on the offensive here. They've started the second half well. Long throw for Sanders. Didn't quite have the distance on it. Away by Toghill. Jaden Hay with another chance to send one in. He goes to the back post. Promising ball. Headed down Nesta with a strong pair of hands. Pouncing on that one ahead of Sanders.
Yeah, just managing to get the ball in from the mysterious touchline there. Header at the back post. Comfortably clean from Nesta. Trying to get Sanders in a bit of trouble there for leaving his leg there, but he didn't do a whole lot wrong that time, Sanders, as opposed to the time before. Back to Watman. Toghill letting that one bounce. Hay will rise with him. Toghill gets there first and second, but Riley Dillon gets there before Naden thumps that one out for a throw-in. Dillon and Hay exchanging passes. On his hour, Geordie Muller is in a good pocket of space centrally. Heggie applying pressure. Harutza sprays a pass straight to the match manager on the far sideline there. He's in a bright fluorescent bib, so you can't confuse him with a teammate. That one's heaved down the line. Walsh, not really sure what he was trying to do there. High foot called and given by the referee. And that's Harutza's 4th foul at least. A lot of hand movements there from Stratos Plumeritas, but I see no cheese.
As high as the one in the penalty area earlier, mind you.
Just had word from our wonderful associate next to us. There was a cheese on Harutza for the penalty on the wiki before. Which,
so we're paying attention as per usual there?
Yeah, absolutely. Really got the eyes on the game up here in the commentary box. Not what we're paid for at all.
To be fair, I think the main concern at that point was the well-being of Matthew Nowicki. An ambulance was called for him. It was the latest update we've heard. Was somewhat dazed and confused, so you imagine he might be out for a little bit of time. Matt Nowicki, wish him all the best. One of our favourites up here at Slice of Cheese. So it's the talisman of the Knights this season, Declan Brown, standing over the dead ball. He's been the main architect in attack this year, and he swings that one in. And Watman got down low, and behind it rolls for a corner. I don't think anyone was really expecting this type of an effort from Declan Brown, just punching it low in, and Watman turning it aside. A couple of Knights players there following up a rehearsed move, I would suggest that one, just looking for a little goal on the doorstep perhaps, or any of those rebounds that might have been coughed up. Watman dealt with it nicely though, put it behind for the corner. Aaron Heggie prepares to swing this one in. Bends it in, dangerous looking ball. Watman came and claimed it and just picked it up off the attacker in front of him, then launches it long. It's a booming kick this for Nicky Edwards, who's played him in behind. He's got no one in the middle just yet. Pace makes a run now. Edwards buying time, dancing on the ball, a little nutmeg, but numbers back for the Knights. And Samuel James across to clear the danger. Naden didn't do so well there, gave it straight to Pace. And it'll be a throw in the way of the Zebras.
Full credit to Sam Watman there. He stood very strong in amongst a sea of bodies, claimed it well, and then the distribution was quick as we go back to live play. The ball into the box, cleared. Now Brown. Didn't quite get the purchase he really wanted on that clearance, and Tommy Little will let it out for a throw, and we'll see the first substitution being made here this afternoon, and I'm assuming this is an injury as Jan Harutza is coming off, or potentially that cheese plus the 4 fouls I was talking about before.
I reckon that's it. I think his injury. I think he's seen that high boot of Juan Hurutza just a few too many times and doesn't want to play the rest of this one with 10 men. Get Henry Fagg out there. Not a bad call.
Was one of the players mentioned as having a knock in the pre-game, but yeah, now that it's been confirmed he is on a slice of cheese, that probably explains that talking to for the high boot and why he's come off so early. As James knocks that one down to Stewart. And Henry Fagg getting his first touch on there. Very handy replacement to have in centre-back. Mind you, plenty of NPL experience. As that one's down the sideline. It's DJ Heggie. He's got Stewart and Naden in front of him. Naden towards the back post. Stewart going short. Heggie falls to Brown, who tried to hit it first time. Dillon gets there first. Muller. Clever ball to Edwards, who's got Hay in front of him again if he wants to go there. He's going to go himself here, Nicky Edwards, charging down the middle. Sanders made the diagonal run, but Tyler Harrison, who's been rock solid in the back all game, snuffs that one out. Tog Hill heading that one in the Naden direction. Dillon using his body well, and unfortunately not well enough as he knocks that one out for a throw-in.
So we've reached the hour mark here at KG5. The Hobart Zebras have not been shy of a draw this year. It's kind of been a real unicorn of a result in our league over the past few years, the draw. It's something we've seen a lot of, but the Zebras have already been involved in 3, I think, and this would be a 4th today. Let's break that way. Yonezawa nodding onto the head of Griffin. Stewart competing then against the Japanese midfielder. Well over the head of Hardwick. Goes that one. Just rolled out by Dimi Nesta. Hardwick with a searching ball there for Brown. Sharp work by him to keep it in play. Hardwick rolls the foot over the ball and then coughed it up to Tommy Little over there. Muller. He's chipped forward. Picked off by Clay, who just somehow weaved between 2 Zebras. The savvy veteran here, just moving very nicely. Silky stuff as he glided through the Zebras and worked it to Tog Hill. A little nutmeg on his former teammate Hay. Yonezawa back to Jaden Hay. Been an impressive game from Hay this afternoon. He combines with pace. Couldn't find a quick release, so instead turned and went back to Little, who, well, he got fouled. Might have made more of an effort to take the advantage there. There was something building for the Zebras through the middle. Opts for the free kick instead, and Knights will be able to shift everyone back. It's obviously impeded, but just felt there's been no real tempo in this second half. But the Zebras, when the speed has picked up, have looked pretty good, and then Little just coughs it straight up. Very ordinary pass, that one. Now he knocks it back to Watman. Should receive it again here, Tommy Little. See if he can do better on this occasion. Goes centrally to Fagg and really puts him under the cush too. Did very nicely indeed to work it away from Naden. And they've played their way through the press. Riley Dillon checks inside onto the right foot. And then a clever little ball in behind for Sanders. The flag raised on him as he drove it past the post anyway. That's the flag straight up and correctly adjudicated off the back of that, I think, although my esteemed colleague doesn't seem to think so over there.
We've got some discerning voices about that call. With potentially Jade Clay there being a step behind Hardwick, which was the guide we were using here. So, Colonel Sanders does like to play off the shoulder of the last defender, but as you're talking about with tempo, Zebras, both with that Tommy Little, I guess not accepting the advantage, and then Dillon before they had real numbers over on the far side, and if they just play in Muller and then get around the back, they can really stretch this Knights defence, but haven't really tried that as Sanders now plays a delightful through ball to Edwards. Edwards against Hardwick. Good back heel. Pace. Sanders! Oh, Nesta with the save. Coming up strong once again, Demi Nesta. He put in a man of the match performance the other week. And he had to be very on his toes for that one. And now the referee has given a free kick to the Zebras in another dangerous position. Sanders, we haven't called his name a lot in the first 60 minutes. He's had 2 Well, these chances, to be fair, on his left peg, I'd expect him to put that in the bottom corner. Sanders just rolled over the top of the laces a little bit too much. And Zebras, though, with another chance. Nicky Edwards over this one. Dylan as well is the other player there. Pace hobbling back to the centre of the park. Dylan with the in-swinger. That's a better ball to the near post, and that has whacked the hand of Henry Fagg on the full. Was by his side the hand of the Zebras centre-back. Certainly hit it on the full. Who knows with the handball rule these days?
So Nesta to Hardwick. Works it to Heggie in the end. And Heggie unceremoniously dumped a little there by lunging Muller. This one launched long, little over the top of Stewart. Good direction on the header. James volleys it forward for Stewart. Just works goal side here of Tommy Lill and swings it across for Naden! Oh, that's a great ball in, and Nick Naden heads it home to give Knights back the lead. Jake Stewart forges the chance, and Naden finishes it off. Glenorchy Knights reclaiming the lead here at KG5.
Look at him roll the centre-back. Jake Stewart put that on a platter for Nick Naden and said, fire me into the back of the net, which he does to aplomb. The Knights haven't had a whole lot of attacking chances here. Giving the old, yes, it has come off my head, Naden, celebration. And the Knights, after two, gilt-edged chance for the Zebras at the other end, have restored their lead. Fortuitous goal in some respects for the Zebras before. The Knights, on the balance of play, have stood up well defensively and then taken their chances as this one's gone to the near post. Toghill manages to clear. Brown can't get that one under control. Yonezawa to Dylan, going in the Sanders direction. Hardwick clears. As we predicted in halftime, there's a few more goals in this game, and I'd still say there is now, as that's a good chip through ball. Running in is Nesta, getting there just in the nick of time. There's Pace charging through the middle.
Sunday McEwen's been given the yell out to on the sidelines. Geordie Muller trying to get in behind here. That shot charged down by Samuel James, behind for another corner. McEwen will be on momentarily, I'd have thought, as the Zebras go in search of late goals for the second time now. They're going to have to chase this one. The Knights yelled Clarence at one, so former Reds there. Stewart and Naden combining in attack. So can the Zebras hit back here? Corner goes in the middle of the box. Harrison didn't quite clear the area. Hay deflects into the back of the net, and they've answered immediately. Sanders wheeling away in celebration, and the Hobart Zebras respond almost instantaneously. We got ourselves a ball game here, Paul.
We certainly do. Corner swung in, not cleared effectively. Hay has rifled that directly into the foot of Colonel Sanders. He has not known a whole lot about that, and that could have gone anywhere. Unfortunately for the Colonel, who, especially down that end of the ground, has not had his fair share of luck in the past few weeks. And he's been saving that one up in the bank, and he's redeemed it now to make it 2-2. And I thought the Zebs were going to make a substitution there, but they'll hold off for another minute. And the Knights, well, will they have an instant reply in them? Naden looking over the far side. Walsh wants a shout in the sun. Brown comes over the top, not tunnelled underneath by Muller. And a flick on Stewart. Little rises high. Walsh. Dwayne Pipe only as far as James. And now Heggie fires that in to the fullback. And Clay, very acrobatic attempt at getting that ball back. Just resting the body weight on the far fence. I'm not surprised Stewart and the like have dropped a bit further deep. He's got a cannon of a throw does Clay. Goes near post. Cleared by Fag. Good touch from Clay, trying to get around the defender, and the foul's been called. So the Knights, again, pressurising the Zebras' defence. Be Declan Brown to take for 6 players in the box for the Knights. Will he find a head? It's Brown. Goes low towards the near post, and it really has been a theme of this game, has been disappointing set pieces.
There's been some real letdown moments in this one. The standard of set piece taking has been well below what we usually expect in the NPL Taz, and it looks like Matthew Pace is going to be replaced by Jimmy Ackley here. Found the back of the net against Riverside last week. And he'll come on with some fresh legs in attack. Can he inspire a winner here as they've, again, hit back quickly. Scored early in the second half to pull it back to 1-1, and then within a minute of going down 2-1 have managed to wrestle it back to 2-0. Nicky Edwards, not really a natural target for long balls, but we're just kind of pitched in between everyone. Rolls off of Edwards, Harrison, Naden, played it off for Yonezawa. Craftily done by the goal scorer, Nick Naden. Tog Hill, that impressive beard. Haven't heard the tones of Shawnee Tog Hill throughout this 90 here, so maybe he is just waiting on the result to decide who he will lend his support to this year. This is, of course, the Sean Tog Hill Cup. Maybe even more important than the 3 points up for grabs. The support of Togsy, I think, would be worth probably 9 or 10 points this season.
I've been scanning that far touchline, and as you say, I have not seen the face and certainly not heard the voice, as that's a lovely little nutmeg. Edwards out to Riley Dillon. Dillon towards the back post. Nesta rising high. Sanders getting there once again. Someone's thumped over the head of Stewart, and it'll be really interesting. What happens if it's a draw, though, in the Sean Tog Hill Cup? I mean,
second leg, perhaps.
Yeah.
Next time around.
Just go best of 3, make it last the whole season.
Well, he needs to be making up his mind sooner than that. Needs to be picking.
If only we still had a final series after it.
No, Paul. It's a preposterous suggestion. This one is going to be a free kick to Edwards in the end. The Knights faithful just arcing up a little. Hay wants to take it quickly, has that blocked off by Callan Griffin, and he'll earn himself a dose of dairy for that one. We're blocking the free kick from about half a yard away.
I mean, he can't disappear into thin air, Cal Griffin.
Oh, he stuck out of the leg, though. What are you talking about? It's clear yellow. Turn it up, Hunt.
I'm just winding a few people up here.
So Riley Dillon over the dead ball. Callan Griffin into the referee's notebook there with the yellow card. Dillon swings it in. Sanders the target. Nesta came. Didn't clear the area. How will it sit for Jaden Hayes? Works his way into space, and then deflected effort just falls into the grateful hands of Nesta. The Zebras pressing hard as they search for the go-ahead goal.
Jaden Hay had very good luck firing a rifled shot in the box a few minutes ago, getting a good deflection. Not quite the same on that occasion. As the Dwayne pipe goes to Muller. Really hogging that touchline is the Dwayne pipe. Muller looks up and tries to find Sanders. Sanders using his body well. Harrison. Walsh who's stride forward. Walsh just eludes his teammate at the back post, Jaden Hay. He was ready to pounce, was Hay, and that one, I believe, has gone out for a throw rather than a goal kick. Yeah, deep.
Gee, they're lining up in the middle there, the Zebras. They're knocking on the door, finishing this game the stronger of the two as we head towards the final 20. Muller, volleyed forward for Edwards. Just squirms in behind Tog Hill. He controls it, waits for a little bit of support. That comes in the form of Riley Dillon, skipping into the boxes. Dillon weaving one way, then the other. Tries to get the shot away, he does, but never looked like troubling Dimmy Nesta and quite work it back enough. Quite the bend, and credit to was Declan Brown just doing the defensive work on Griffin there, stopping him getting that shot off when he first wanted to.
In the end, Dylan's best option may have been young James Ackley on the far sideline. That ground grubber of a goal kick does fall to James, who gets a bit more loft underneath at Naden against Dylan. Hay. The Knights surrounding Hay. Toghill to Griffin. He can turn out if he wants to. Plays a nice ball to Brown. Stewart making the run. It's Brown trying to get past one. Now that is a slice of cheese if I've ever seen one. Declan Brown storming in on goal. Henry Fagg copying the professional foul there.
And that is why you sub Harutza off, because he couldn't have done that. He couldn't have pulled that. You've got the fresh man on who hasn't been booked. You can just snickily go, nah, that's enough of you running at my goalkeeper. Thank you, Declan Brown. I'll see how you go with a wall and 10 men in between you and there. Wonderful stuff. It's just about the only way you can stop Declan Brown at times, when he gets up a full head of steam. Yeah, you don't want him running in there with Jake Stewart in the middle awaiting a cutback. That was the right option.
Smart option there. Experienced defender is Henry Fagg.
So, Samuel James over the dead ball here. Sanders is alert to the quick little pass to Declan Brown, which we've seen a few times. Those quick free kicks just slid in. It'll be a dink instead. Headed back. Full for Walsh. Got there ahead of Clay and just blasted it out of there. Toghill will just nod it back comfortably to Dimmy Nesta. Fair purchase on that clearance from the Dwayne pipe. Here's Hardwick to James. Back to Hardwick again. And Jade Clay. The Knights content to knock it around the back for the time being as we reach the final 15 minutes of regulation. Hardwick, no one really presenting for him, so he just turns and goes straight back to his goalie once again. They're going nowhere fast at the moment, Knights. Eventually they knock it long for Heggie. Flicked on. Yonezawa landed at the feet of Griffin. Now Nick Naden, Brown making a bursting run. He heads in that direction. Fagg always favoured by the central pass though. Jaden Hay. Griffin just got in there ahead of him, but it spills into the path of Riley Dillon. Stone cold. Having a run at Toghill. Tries to take him on. Toghill showing a good turn of pace to stick with him. And just fell into his back in the end there, Toghill. And a free kick being blown against the bearded one.
Tried to go around the outside, did Riley Dillon. Muscling up. Does get in front. Toghill falls on him. And
he's always looking to go down there, Dillon.
Yeah, he was running down a blind alley there, Riley Dillon. And just win the foul off Toghill. And we'll see what the Zebs can do from this free kick. Just the 4 at the back post at the moment. Launched in the near post, flick on header at the back, cleared off the line. Rising high is Hay. And this time Harrison gets a lot more purchase on it. Ackley elects to keep it in, has Muller for company, goes in that direction. Geordie Muller, low ball, cleared by Hardwick. Now Naden, can he get past Yonezawa? Knocks it in front of him, is impeded. Advantage played, it's Stewart. Jake Stewart, only Declan Brown ahead of him, manages to get past Yonezawa, through ball to Brown, and that is offside. Brenton Copra calling that one. It did seem that the defence had just held their line in time. Declan Brown wasn't about to hold his run. And we're just seeing this game a lot more stretched in the last 10 minutes, Andrew.
Hey, fancy, there's a match winner out there. If someone can find it, there's the room to manoeuvre in. Both teams want it. Who's got the legs to produce it? Some tired boys out there at the moment. Sammy Watman. Mishit straight to Griffin. Now Heggie with room out on the left here, and he'll run and dink one, trying to find Naden, steered away by Henry Fagg. Muller. Ooh, heavy touch in the end, and just rather gifts the Knights a corner. And perhaps has injured himself in the process, clutching at the hamstring Geordie Muller, which I guess would explain why he took an uncharacteristically poor touch out there then, but hasn't signalled to the bench, so he seems right to continue. Bit of
flag maintenance, corner flag maintenance.
He thought, I'm just going to give up on that one in the end. Declan Brown abandoning the task. I just want to whip this ball in instead, he says, and swings it near post. And Yonezawa worked it behind for another one. Brown, who doesn't really deserve another attempt at it after that first effort. We'll see if he can produce something a little better as Fags clear since swung in, blasted away by Jaden Hay. Ackley dinks it over the top. One more and they're on here. He's got Walsh in space. Edwards burning them off. It's Nicky Edwards storming in on goal and lofts it over the top. A glorious opportunity goes begging for the Zebras. Nicky Edwards storming in on goal. Surely had to hit the target there. That's like many a player this afternoon, just lifted it over the top.
They must be having a lean-back competition here. It's two players are going at it head-to-head on the field. Nicky Edwards and Jade Clay just comparing forehead sizes there temporarily. As Edwards just getting underneath that. Dwayne Walsh was bursting forward as well as... We'll now go down... Well, we'll have a look at the talking to that Edwards is getting. Stratos giving the attacker quite the talking to. And while that's happened, we have had two substitutions made. Muller has come off, just feeling that hamstring. And just trying to scan the room who's come on, actually. Woods, Hay, Yonezawa, Sunday McEwen has come on. And then for the Knights, Aaron Marnie has taken position on the left wing. And here's DJ Heggie, who's come off. So a change made by each side. After Edwards' glorious chance in on goal. And Dwayne Walsh, who was storming in, could have had a tap in as well. And 10 minutes to go. Both sides looking for the victory. Dillon dinks it to Sunday. On his favourite day of the week, but that's not his favourite pass he'll hit all day. Launched in the sky. Nesta underneath that one the whole way. Jade Clay wanting this one and getting it. Fresh legs on the far sideline if he wants it. Clay turns and goes the other way, but just finds Henry Fagg, who misses his teammate, and it'll fall out for a throw-in. Toghill sizing up his options. Doesn't have a lot. In the end, goes down the line. Naden can't get the head onto it. Yonezawa to Edwards. Sunday, Toghill left a little bit in on the attacker after that one. Quite a nice, graceful gone to the ground there, but he has left most of his body in there, has Togsy.
Yeah, obvious foul. Certainly Sunday making sure it was spotted, but Riley Dillon again. 2-2. This game is there for the taking for both these sides. Nicky Edwards really should have put the Zebras 3-2 ahead moments ago. Another chance here. Sanders stoops down, headed it backwards. Griffin, Naden, Yonezawa. Knocks it back to Henry Fagg. He'll drive it in the Sunday McEwen direction. Brings it under his spell, then rolls it off for Riley Dillon to dissect the gap, charge into the box. Can he pick someone out with a cross? No, Tyler Harrison again was there to repel. Yonezawa just outpointing Naden there. McEwen. Dillon wants it. That's where he heads. Just held his run well there, Riley Dillon. He swings it in near post. Ackley not really a natural target in the air. Repelled away. The Knights holding on under some increasing pressure here from the Zebras. Turning the screws, Yonezawa lofting in the Sanders direction. Nesta always favoured, and surely a foul on the keeper. Sanders just backed into him, and he's afforded the keeper's protection this time, Paul, and rightfully so.
Yeah, this time an even potentially clearer example of tunnelling there from Colonel Sanders. As Stewart now gets around Tommy Little. Jake Stewart storming into the box. Bit of hand fighting. Still got the ball, Stewart. Naden's open. If he wants it, goes next. Naden puts it over the top. Well, it's a lean back contest here at KG5. Naden, the latest one to put his hand up. And he really just leant back on that one, the striker.
He's been fantastic today, Nick Naden, but that was extremely lazy. Just kind of stuck the right foot out on it half-heartedly. Put your laces through it or take a touch onto your left. He had time and space to make something better than that, and in the end, a rather tepid effort as he put it wide. Both these teams have had chances to win it, and neither look particularly interested in taking one at the moment. It remains 2-2.
Watman taking lessons from his strikers there with that goal kick as well.
Yeah, it's all getting a little scrappy, and it's the Knights who are searching late from the ground. It was Fag. They wanted handball, none forthcoming. McEwen clipped, advantage paid. Sanders couldn't take it. It was charged down. Mustn't have been advantage paid anyway. Aaron Marnie now. The fresh legs of the substitute. Can he get in behind? Instead passes to Clay. Experienced Jay Clay has coughed it up to Jimmy Ackley. Got there and got round of James. Into the path of McEwen. Dropped it off for Nicky Edwards. Nicky Edwards skips around Toghill. Lost his balance, went back and got it. Now tries to combine with McEwen, who's surrounded by Knights shirts. Back for Jaden Hay. Just holds up. Now swings it out, looking for Ackley. And Toghill came across and nodded away. And we're going to have some more action on the substitutes bench. Luke Warrener about to enter the fray.
It is Thomas Toghill coming off. He'll be eagerly awaiting the news, the outcome of the Sean Toghill Cup afterwards, and he'll have a few minutes on the bench to debate that to himself as Dylan directing traffic. Finds Edwards, Naden. Dumps that one clear, setting Jakey Stewart a task. Fag getting there first. Stewart pushing him out of the way and does eventually give the free kick, does the referee. It seems to be a grinning competition between Henry Fag and Strados there. Definitely a foul. It'll be Clay with his fan club in the stands to take this one. Hardwick, immediate pressure there from Ackley. Did well to beat the press initially. Now Warrener on his first touch of the match. Trying to find Marnie down the far sideline. That had a lot of sauce on it, that pass from Lukey Warrener. Giving Marnie absolutely no chance.
So, Sammy Watman, can he get them moving forwards here with 4 minutes left in regulation? Where are we headed for another Hobart Zebras draw? Of course, they are still undefeated, but have left a number of points out there through the draws at the moment. Here is Dylan. Couldn't get around Jay Clay. Took the throw quickly and just launched it for McEwen. Good ball to him too. Finds Nicky Edwards trying to shape to shoot. Couldn't quite buy the space. Ackley charged down by Warrener. Off the head of Naden. Riley Dillon trying to take it away, but Nick Naden wins the ball back. Ackley scrapping there with him. Good strength shown by Naden. And they chip it forward for Jake Stewart up against Tommy Little. Brown against Tay, off the head of Yonazawa. Fell for James. No one out there. But Henry Fag played it first time to McEwen. Angled his body and made a leaping flick on. About the best he could do with the situation. And they've got a throw in for Dylan. Zebras pushing hard for what would surely be a match winner at this point. It's Jaden Hay. Spots Dwayne Walsh with the sun in his eyes. He brings it down, swings in an early cross, straight to Nesta. Just couldn't find anyone. And can Knights springboard back the other way now?
Real credit to Jakey Stewart as he has another up and under to contend with, really reprising his role at Clarence as this one falls to Marnie. Can't get past the first defender. Jakey Stewart really chasing down absolutely everything since coming on. It'll be Marnie to take. Finds Warrener. Now Brown. Dwayne Pipe gets a knee in. And then we'll see Warren will launch it into the box. Underneath his fag. Just about cut out. It'll fall to Brown, who puts it in front of the Zebras player, and Jaden Hay fouls him. And I tell you what, Cooling, this is Declan Brown territory.
Yeah, it is, although I can't say the set-piece standard of the match is particularly filled.
I'm going to keep talking them up. That's persistence.
A whole lot of hope or confidence, but we'll see if he can find a way to produce what could be a spectacular match winner here in the 89th minute. It would be a goal with a little time left to respond, and Declan Brown looks like he wants to be the man to take responsibility here and step up. 2-2 the score, 90 seconds remaining. Up steps Brown, hammers it low, and Watman collects comfortably enough. And they've tried that low delivery a few times, and Watman has been up for it. Cal Griffin's header, not a great one. He'll give the Zebras a throw in an advanced spot here. Edwards wants to keep the attack going here, wants to dial up the pressure. As Dillon swings in a ball. Sanders was there, scrapping away with James. Top of the box. It falls for Jaden Hay! And on the left foot, he blazed over the top. Just wouldn't quite sit for him. And Hay can't quite find the spectacular. It remains locked at 2.
Over the bar, as we've seen a lot here this afternoon at KG5. Jaden Hay probably would have preferred that on his right foot. But another chance, half chance, goes begging for the Zebras. Nesta, though, is going to give him a free pass by knocking that one straight out of play. And as we tick into the 90th minute, the Zebras, can they rouse themselves for one last hurrah? Walsh, wasn't a huge rush to take this throw-in, if they are to have a last hurrah. Finds Sunday, back to Walsh. Puts the ball into the box. Sanders tried to use his body well. Getting there's Hay deflected. Nesta can't get a hold of it eventually. Well, after about 7 goes at it, just about keeps enough of his hands on the ball. I think a foul has been called. But he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goes at it. Did Nesta. And eventually gets a reprieve from the referee. Nesta. Low driving ball straight to Yonezawa. He hits it straight to Clay. Griffin to Naden. Goes the big up and under, sending Marnie a task. The fresh legs getting right around Dwayne Walsh. It's Marnie. Stewart in the box. Walsh eventually comes back. Winning a corner for his side. The Knights have withstood a good amount of pressure here of late. What can they do again from this crucial set piece?
It's going to be Brown again to take. Standard of delivery won't matter if he can produce something here. Can he strike gold in stoppage time? It's Brown. That's better, but away by McEwen. Sanders flicks on for Ackley. Ackley can turn, and the break is on here for the Zebras. He just sets it out in front of Dillon and says, go get that, and Riley Dillon duly does. First time ball's going to make Edwards work for it. He just gave Warren every chance there, and he's able to clear away. The ball won't go out of play. It stays in for Ackley. Ackley dwells on it a moment. Last attacking moments perhaps here. Oh, a free kick. Let's Zebras out of jail there after a rather sloppy pass had gone out. Nicky Edwards, this could be a last chance saloon type stuff now for the Zebras. 2-2 the score. Into stoppage time. Sherman screaming out the instructions from the near touchline. It's Edwards to take. Can't be many more looks left. It's a dangerous ball. Oh, Fag couldn't get any of it, and the defender came across and put it behind.
That's a nervy
spin on that one.
It's a nervy one for all defenders, and getting a touch on it is Warren. Could have even looped his own keeper there in the end.
So the corner again to the back post, eludes everybody. And the Zebras claiming another corner, and they're going to get another corner too. So the aerial bombardment here at the end is set to continue. Riley Dillon come across and take is, I think, just slipping on the concrete there was Tommy Little. So Dillon in the 93rd minute. They're pumping the balls in here. Dylan goes near post, away again by Hardwick on this occasion. They've stood up to the bombardment. Although a little bit more is going to come their way through the long throw-in ability of Jaden Hay. He sends it in once more. Again, it's Hardwick who repels. Marnie clears the danger, then works it to Stewart. Have they got enough time to spring a counter of their own, the Knights? Perhaps they might have enough time for one last attacking move, but the final whistle surely imminent now here, Paul.
Surely is, as Stewart beaten out by Little. Wants a free kick, ball still in play. Ackley tried the flick, Griffin just hits that one out of play. I think everyone in the grandstand thought that would be game over, but we're still going here. As Sanders, well, he wins the foul, and will they take it quickly or just let everyone get up? I think it's going to be the second option, so it really is the last chance here as we're nearly into the 95th minute. Edwards trying to steal a few yards. Griffin's done the leg trick once before. He knows he can't do it twice. And Edwards got 5 in the box to aim for. Does Edwards. Goes towards the back post. Little's nearly up, someone on the ground, back to the back post and put over the top. Colonel Sanders from 4 yards out has really just stuck with the theme of this game, and the ball goes over the top.
Oh, they've handled most of these set pieces really well, the Knights. That one not so much, and it is the last touch of the game from Sanders. He neglects the opportunity to claim all 3 points, heads over the crossbar, and so it ends 2-2 here at KG5, a tremendously fought-out game. Both teams had the opportunities to win it. Zebras perhaps a few more. Neither could take it, and it ends all square once again, and they'll remain in 4th and 5th place on the table.
Probably a deserved result on the balance of play. Knights doing the best with the fewer chances they had by comparison to the Zebras, but the Zebras, despite a few fits and starts of pressure, never really laid out a full bombardment on the Knights' defence, and they set up really well from the start, did the Glenorchy Knights. Coach Sherman had them really well organised. As we'll go through some of the highlights here this afternoon. And we have a look at the first one, the penalty. Nowicki, who got his head to it, and then poleaxed by Harutza. We do hope Nowicki is keeping well as Declan Brown slotted the penalty. That put Knights 1-0 up, and they held that right the way through to half-time. That was about the 14th or 12th minute that happened. And as we go into the second half, well, one of the slowest own goals you'll ever see. It trickled over the line. Jade Clay not expecting that one. Neither was Nestor, and that made it 1-1. And we predicted at halftime there'd be plenty of goals in the second half, and we were pretty much right there, Andrew.
We were. Jaden Hay getting that cross in. That one wasn't one of the goals. It was Timmy Nestor not being given a free kick. But Knights would get back through Nick Naden. A glorious little chip ball from Jake Stewart to pick him out. Just held off the attentions of Tommy Little, burned him off, and then chipped in a perfect ball. Naden from close range. He's dangerous in the air, that man. And then, well, an element of fortune about the Zebras equaliser. Sanders didn't know a whole lot about it. Hay just blasting one that deflected in off him. That would be the end of the scoring. Certainly not the end of the chances. Both teams had opportunities to win it, but neither could take one. And it's ended here 2-2 at KG5 to end round 9 of the NPL Tasmania. And we'll be off the NPL Tasmania next week. We've got a cup weekend. Certainly initially anyway. I think the next game we'll have for you will be Friday night, Glenorchy Knights and Olympia over at Warrior Park. So another classic Tasmanian football rivalry, that one. And with the cup factor added in, that should be a real treat. A massive Easter weekend of football headed your way. Easter Monday games as well. Devonport and the Zebras here on the Sunday. South Hobart, Hobart United. It is a footballing feast we have for you over the Easter weekend. Do join us for those ones. But from the Slice of Cheese and Buy on Stream team here at KG5 today, it's bye for now.